Hey, if you're new here, my name is Lauren, and on here I talk all things planning and self-care. Today I have a happy planner haul that I wanted to share with you. I picked up some things from their wellness collection from the spring release. I did pick up the Heal from Within in both the mini and classic size, and so we'll go ahead and flip through these. And I also picked up the sticker books for the mini and the classic size, and I will go ahead and start with the sticker books and flip through and show you what they are side by side. That way you can kind of compare and see for yourself which one you think you might want to get, or if you think you want to get both of them. So yeah, right away, this is basically the same, except you can tell that these are smaller. This one is a smaller one, right? Wait, no, this is classic. Mini. Is it just me, or do these stickers look smaller than these? This says mini, but these look wider than these. Okay, we're gonna have to keep going and seeing. I'm kind of like confused about why these are wider than these in the classic. I hope they didn't accidentally did. Wait a minute. Okay, so then there. And this is like a rose gold foiling. Some habit trackers on this side. These are so cute. Okay, now here comes the habit trackers on this side. Flowers over here. That's interesting that they didn't order them in the exact same way. Oh look, this is like silver foiling. I didn't think there was anything else in here except for rose gold. So there is these silver ones. Ooh, take a social media break. I wish I could have a sheet of all these, because I do that every Sunday. And that's the end of those books. So I feel like the classic, I mean, the mini does have some stuff that's like the same size as the classic. So I don't know. I think it seems like, I don't know. It might be, if I were to like had to pick like one, I probably would just get this one, just because I don't know how much I would use the bigger stickers if I was, even if I am planning in like a bigger planner, I don't know how often I would use a bigger sticker. So let me put these off to the side and show you the Happy Planner Mini and Classic that I got in the wellness layout. They are calling this the Heal from Within, and you see that the Classic comes in this cover option. It says fall in love with taking care of your body. And then I hope you can see that good, because I know that like my camera glare. And then this one says love yourself enough to live a healthy lifestyle. I actually prefer this color cover over this one. I just generally like lighter colors than darker ones for my planners, and I wish that they had this cover in this bigger option. Let's see if I try and just do the mini first, and then I will come back to the classic because this one's an 18-month one and this one's just 12 months. So let me show you this one, what this one looks like, and I can try and get you some measurements too, so you can kind of get a better idea of like how big of a space is that you have in here. But so here's what the inside cover looks like. So cute. Let's see if you can see. Yeah, 2023, 2024. So this starts in July. So let me show you. Hold on. Let's see. These boxes are about 1.25. About, yeah, a little bit more than a quarter. 1.25. So I'd say about 1.25, especially if you just measure the line spacing. Like if you're trying to write something down right here next to this number, you really only have like 3/4 of an inch space to write something down right there next to it. This for me probably would be a good spot to track yoga minutes because all I'm writing down is like how much time that I spent. And I also use like the initials of the yoga instructor's video, or if I just did like my own thing, I write ME for like me. That's not really initials, but it's just saying, hey, it was me. Or I'll do like Sarah Beth Yoga, I'll write SBY. If it's Yoga with Adrienne, I'll do YWA. I had to think for a second. And so yeah, that would be a good, I think, a good use for this for me. I guess you could also use this for like steps if that matters, or heart rate, blood pressure, all sorts of health things like that. The dashboard, well, I'm calling it a dashboard. I don't know what Happy Planner people call this. I am like totally a newbie. Let's see how wide. Let me try and get, you have about 3.75 of an inch long. These lines are for you to write, and they're definitely narrow. If I measure it in centimeters, it's like 5 centimeters. I mean 5 millimeters spacing. So that's not too narrow. And this box here, wait, that's about, the line is like a little bit more than 1.25, the actual like line itself. But this whole, like if I go from that line to that line, you see it's like more than 1.5. And then this side over here looks to be about like 2.5, like a little bit more than 2.25 inches on that side. So I don't know, it's not like super tiny, but it's also, it's not a lot. I'd say if you have big handwriting, this would probably not be a good option. And I would definitely say the pen size would need to be for sure like 0.5 or less, because a thicker pen will take up more space writing in here. But it's got sections for like your priorities, write something encouraging, how I'm strengthening my mind, how I'm strengthening my body, and what I'm loving about myself. So you have that for every month. And then this is what the divider tab looks like for the month for July. And here's the month. So the boxes in here are, oh goodness, I'm gonna have to do math. I'd say 2.3 centimeters, which is like not even an inch. It's like just a tick mark away from an inch. And then they are about 1.25 tall, like not even 1.25. So very tiny boxes. And then you'd have to share over here whenever it gets to like a situation like this. But you've got like some bullet points here, so you can list 3 things that you love about yourself. I think this changes each month. I'll have to check. And then here's what the weeks look like. So each month is going to look a little bit different right here. And gosh, this is such a narrow sidebar. Almost 3/4 of an inch. Hold on, this needs to be flat. It's about 1.5 centimeters, like a little bit more than 1.5 centimeters wide. That is such a narrow sidebar. And then each of these are about, looks like not even an inch, about an inch. These are like almost exactly an inch wide. These are all like an inch wide. So you got top section for priority, today, movement, and then take note. And it's got different things on the top for every day. You want pretzels? This one says reflecting on, today was thankful for, focusing on, looking inward, daily gratitude, and loving this. And it probably says the same thing. Yeah, it says the same thing every week for that. So let me go ahead and flip through so that you can see all of the designs. So how in August it switches to like polka dots on the seam. It looks like these colors do not change. Let me see. Yeah, those colors are going to be the same every time. That's going to be whatever color this is though. Oh wait, polka dot. It was only polka dot here. Wait, was it polka dot over here too? It is. So all of these have like just a polka dot, and then when you get to the month and the weeks, it's gonna have something different. So it looks like the month has a floral, and then that is the same thing from July. 3 things you love about yourself. Yeah. And then here, what did it have in July in the middle? Is it a flowers too? Yes, it's flowers. So over here on the month, you have the flowers. And then on the week, you just have like the stripe, which is almost like the happy planner, that happy planner stripe. And it'll be in the color for that month. So that's the like a blue gray for that August. And then September, it's kind of interesting that that's the color, but the tab is not that color. So I think they rotate just these 3 colors. Yes, so these are not the same as what's inside. So it looks like the colors inside are rotating with these. So it's going from this, then because September was this color, and then November is this color. Wait, was August this color? Let me see. July, August, and then they did September, and they're going back. Be like, okay, so it's going like, yeah, they're rotating these 3 colors on the inside. So the tabs are not representation of what's inside. So those were the 3, and I'll just keep flipping to just now these so you can see what these look like on a smaller scale, but they are definitely going to be the same in the classic size. And that is it. So the last one is just like a notes page, and then that's the back cover. So that is the mini version. And let me go ahead and switch over to the classic. I might go ahead and pull this out like next to it so you can kind of see for size reference. But this is definitely like a 7 by 9.25. I believe that's what the size is. And so after being in this little one, like flipping these pages, it's like, holy moly, this is huge. But it's exactly the same. And that's the reason why I got both, is because I wasn't sure if there was going to be anything different on the internal pages, considering it's like a smaller sized planner. I wasn't sure if it was just going to be the whole thing shrunk or if they just made other changes. So now I know it's the same, so I kind of have to decide which one I think I want to use. It doesn't start until July, like I said, but because this one has 18 months in it, I am thinking about starting it earlier and like redating. So we will see. That way I can create some content and share some ideas for using this. That way, if you are interested and you think maybe you might want to get this, you can check out some of the plan with me's that I'm gonna try and put together for this, and that'll help you decide before it's even time to use it if you want to pick it up, because I'm sure this will still be on the Happy Planner site for a little while. All right, so this, well, let me give you the size for this, because let me show you. Let's go to this one next to it so you can kind of see how it's like the same but much smaller. And what did we say this one was? Like almost 3.5 inches. And this is clearly like it's 6 inches. So it's almost like double the width. Although the line spacing in here is wider, that's for sure. So it looks like it's the same number of lines, but these line spacing, the line spacing here is, looks like it's about 6 centimeters. I mean 6 millimeters. Yeah. And then what I say it was over here, I said it was like 5. It was about 5 over here. So it's definitely like a little bit wider spacing here. So if you do write bigger, then this is definitely going to be better for you there. You won't feel as scrunched to write in here. The weekly planner I'm using right now has about that size line spacing. Actually, it might even be narrower. It's like in a grid. So basically all the measurements I did here practically double, at least on that instance. So let's see what the calendar size is for here. And these are a little bit bigger than 1.5. They're almost 4 centimeters wide too. So this is definitely much roomier. If you're planning on using the planner as like your main planner and you want to use this for like your schedule, this I would, especially if you have a lot of things going on, like if you have kids like me and they've got multiple activities, I would probably lean towards this one. My daughter interrupted, so I forgot what I was talking about. I was probably saying that the boxes in here are more like the sizing that I would use for my main calendar if I had like a lot of things going on with my kids' schedules and things like that. Although like July is usually hardly anything happening because, you know, it's school's out for the summer. Okay, so this is what's a little bit different on the layout. So if you remember, let's see, this, I was saying how tiny this is. So you only have like grid all the way down. Well, on this, you have an extra section that's lined instead of grid and it says note. So that really is the only difference in the weekly, and other than like the size, of course. So the width of these are about 1.5 inches, which is what I expected them to be. These grid boxes down here, the grid lines, it looks like the grid lines here are bigger than the grid lines here. Looks like 4 centimeters, and then this one looks like it's like 3 centimeters. So these are kind of tiny grid boxes, but usually grid like that, I like take 2 lines as like my line for me to write, and then I leave like a small section. I hope that makes sense. If that matters, I like to use that spacing almost like lines, and definitely like a lot more space in this one under, hang on, this is different. Okay, so hold it. Okay, this says priority, this says intention. This says today, this says nourish. These two are the same, movement and note. So the differences are not just scale, it absolutely is a difference in like how it's labeled. So this one seems like it's more geared towards like actually being a planner because of the today section and priority section, because then you can put like your important tasks for the day, and then you can put, you know, like what your schedule is for the day, or like a to-do list for today, and then you can list out movement, and you can take whatever kind of notes you want. Whereas here you've got an intention you can set for the day. You can track under nourish, you can track like your meals, like what you've eaten, or if you're planning in advance, you can plan out like what your meals are going to be. And then you got the movement and the take note section. So that is interesting that they did that and they didn't keep it consistent between the two. Just kind of making me think about how I would use this. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna have fun trying to come up with some ideas for y'all for how to use this, because I'm not somebody who really tracks my food intake. I could see though if somebody is having symptoms and their doctor has asked them to track your food, or just on your own, you're just curious to know if maybe what you're eating is affecting things, then having a tracker like this could be helpful, because then you start listing it out, and then let's say headaches is something, and then you get a headache, and then you can go back and you can look and see, well, is there any pattern? And then it'll take time for you to notice, but that's very interesting. I'm glad I noticed that the priority is on here and today, and then movement. So I almost wish that it also had like today and priority over here on this side, but I guess that's easy. You can just white it out and make it whatever you want. You can actually even dedicate different things for different dates. It doesn't have to be consistent for the entire week. We'll have to see what kind of things I come up with. All right, let me go ahead and keep flipping through so that you can see the bigger versions of these designs. I just love the color palette in here. It's so soft and soothing and relaxing. Let me know if you are using any kind of a wellness planner right now from Happy Planner, or if you've used one in the past. If you are thinking about maybe getting a wellness planner, if you think maybe using a wellness planner as like your main planner, like combining the two, if that's helpful to you to have like a wellness planner designated as like your main planner, if you're not somebody who's like a multiple planner person. Because I like that there's like incorporations of like taking care of yourself in here, and that's really why I wanted to pick it up and share it, because I've been trying to showcase all different kinds of planners that have these sorts of reminders already built into the planner to get you to think about practicing self-care and taking care of yourself and that sort of thing. I'm not so much somebody who's interested in tracking my diet and changing that, or weight loss and that kind of thing. Sometimes that's what comes to mind when you hear about like health and wellness tracker or health and wellness planners. So that is not, oh, I like this one. Let yourself reset. I love that one. So what I'm thinking about doing is pulling out the cover, the tabs towards the end, like when you get into, I guess, starting in July. So then what I could do is have July be, I don't know, I'm gonna look up some videos and see, because I know there's a trick to this. But I'm gonna try and figure out an easy way to use use the ones towards the back and move them forward and start using it early so that I can show you my thoughts. So let's see, this only, the same thing, it only has like the one notes page at the end. And I don't know, I didn't look very closely when I was ordering, but there isn't, look, that has like a shadow of like some kind of a palm, I guess. That's cool. I love plant stuff, so I appreciate all that in here. What was I saying? Oh my gosh. Okay, I forgot what I was saying, guys. I will have to like pop something up about it so I can finish my thought for you when I go back to edit this. But that is my haul, my first one. And like I said, I'm planning on trying to come up with some plan with me's in this. Even though they don't start until July, I'm gonna go ahead and try and play around with this and see if I can come up with some ideas for you on how to use it. And it's an excuse for me to play with stickers. So if you want to see some of that, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.